friends, and welcome again to my podcast. This is Pastor Richard Seafried, and I just have really appreciated those of you that are subscribers, faithful watchers of my podcast, and I hope that my ministry to you from the Word of God on these podcasts has been a source of great spiritual blessing in your life. As you know, we're working our way through the Gospel of John, looking at the 7 miracles that are recorded in John's Gospel. It's interesting that the other 3 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, have also a lot of miracles of Jesus recorded, but some of the ones recorded in John's Gospel are unique. They are unique to his particular Gospel, and that is especially interesting. The turning of the water into wine is unique to the Gospel of John. The healing of the nobleman's son of Capernaum is unique to the Gospel of John. The healing of the impotent or paralyzed man who was lying by the pool of Bethesda, that's unique to the Gospel of John. Now, the feeding of the 5,000, which we covered last time, and then this one today, Jesus walking on water, those are found in all the Gospels. They are in harmony with all 4 Gospels. The raising of Lazarus from the dead, which we're going to get to next time, that also is only found in the Gospel of John. So we're indebted to John for some of these recordings of these various miracles. So let's talk about the walking on the water. I'm reading from John chapter 6, starting with verse 15. When Jesus therefore perceived that they would come and take him by force to make him a king, he departed again into a mountain himself alone. And when the evening was now come, his disciples went down to the sea, and entered into a ship, and went over the sea toward Capernaum. And it was now dark, and Jesus was not come to them. And the sea arose by reason of a great wind that blew. So when they had rowed about 25 or 30 furlongs, they see Jesus walking on the sea and drawing nigh unto the ship, and they were afraid. But he said unto them, It is I, be not afraid. Then they willingly received him into the ship, and immediately the ship was at the land where they went. A couple different miracles here. First of all, the walking on the water, and the other miracle that's often neglected is as soon as Jesus calmed the storm out there in the sea, the ship was immediately at the land. Somehow that ship went from the middle of the Sea of Galilee to the town of the coast of Capernaum in an instant. Several miracles taking place here. I think the purpose of this miracle is to demonstrate the power Jesus has over the forces of nature. Specifically here, the laws, the physical laws of gravitation. Walking on the water defies all of the laws of science and laws of nature, doesn't it? Now, some of the miracles are recorded to show Christ's power over disease. Some miracles to show Christ's power over demons, several times. At least a couple times Jesus did miracles to show his power over death. But here it is to demonstrate Christ's power over the elements of nature. And actually, there's a lot of miracles all through the Bible that fit into that category. One that comes to mind is how Elisha was able to recover the lost axe head. If you remember that story in the Old Testament, that iron axe head actually floated up to the top of the water so that the guy that lost it could find it. And another amazing illustration of Christ's power, God's power over the laws of nature. Well, the other Gospels, this Gospel here, John says And when evening was come, the disciples went down into the ship. That is true, but the other two gospel accounts, especially Matthew and Mark, used a stronger language here and say that Jesus actually sent the disciples down to the ship and constrained them to get into the ship and to go to the other side. This wasn't something they just decided to do on their own. The Gospels make it clear that Jesus deliberately sent his disciples out onto that lake. And of course, he knew that the storm was coming because he made the storm. He allowed this storm to come as a test of their faith. Now think of that. Jesus deliberately sent his disciples right into a storm on the Sea of Galilee. Oftentimes we go through storms in our life. We go through trials. We go through times that threaten our safety and security and get us all worked up and cause us great stress. And some of you right now may be going through some storm in your life. And I want you to remember a couple things. First of all, God sent you into that storm. God has allowed it for his purpose. Secondly, Matthew and Mark say Jesus went up into a mountain to pray. Jesus is praying for you. I don't know what you're going through today, dear friend. I don't know what your storm is that you're having to go through, but I am confident of this wonderful truth, that God knows all about it, and he's praying for you. In the midst of your storm, he's praying for you. And then finally, he will come to you. He sees your need. He knows what's going on in your life, and he will come to you in your time of need. That's the truth of this particular miracle. Not that Jesus just happened to walk on the water, but more important, he came to them in their time of need. You see, the presence of Jesus is all that we need when we're going through tough times. Just an awareness that he's with us. He hasn't forsaken us. Hebrews 13:5 says, I will never leave you or forsake you. See, and that's all we need to get through these times of trial and these storms in our life, is just an awareness of his presence. He is with us. King David wrote, of course, in Psalm 23, Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Why? Because thou art with me. See, God's presence, dear friends, is all we need. So today I'm just grateful for the wonderful truth that the same God who has the power over all the elements of nature comes to us. Listen, he comes to us in our hour of need. And he stood in that ship and rebuked the wind and the waves. He is the God of peace, and he can bring peace today to your troubled heart. Well, may the Lord bless you. I hope you're getting a lot out of these studies of the Gospel of John and these miracles that are recorded here in the Gospel of John. And we have 2 more to go. We've so far covered 5 out of the 7. We have 2 more to go, and we're looking forward to that. May the Lord richly bless you.